should have went to Mako.
So what can you tell us about UConn?
You didn't really, I was skipping that question.
Everything?
Bloodbath. Next question.
You talked about the honors that Gary and Troy got.
I didn't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I'm being serious.
Troy
Gary-
got first team, Gary got second team.
Oh, dude, it's great for those guys. Happy for them. Those guys are good kids. They work really, really hard. And just very happy for them.
What about the strides they've made this year to get to that point?
Yeah, I would say Troy first team.
Yeah.
Just had to check. Well, I think that, with the coaches, speaking about Troy, our coaches in our league, I vote on that, correct?
Yeah.
That they're equating his value to our team. How many minutes he plays. Sometimes he will help, it could be the assist, it could be the scoring, his leadership. I think it's his first team award is really, it speaks to volumes to how important he is to our basketball team and how hard he's worked to get to the point where he was a bit player off the bench as a freshman to a first team all-league player as a junior. So I'm really happy for him. He's worked hard to get to that point. Same thing with Gary. I think that says a lot about, how hard he's worked from the time we recruited him, really, because he was an unknown as a junior in high school to the point where people know who he is, and he has the respect of the other coaches in our league. To me, that means a lot when the other coaches in the league vote for you and place a premium on how valuable you are and what kind of player you are. So, like I said, just credit to those guys and how hard they've worked.
Gary's been in a little funk lately. I think he's missed his last 11 shots or something. Is he just rushing it? They're just swarming him too more than they were before?
Yeah, I mean, when you move up the charts on that scouting report, it's a lot tougher.
Yeah.
In defense of Gary, since Shaq's gone down, he's played too many minutes. My job this week is to just try to get his legs fresh again, get his mind fresh, get his legs fresh, and it's, new start mentality. But I'm not concerned with him. With him, because, that stuff can be skewed. He gets fouled a lot, just being honest about it, guys. We're one of the few teams around that really throws the ball inside. And he takes a lot of hits. I don't think he gets a lot of calls. I think people foul him a lot on a lot of his misses. I think quite frankly, I think he's being fouled. He's just got to learn to deal with that and continue to get himself to the foul line, because that's really what helped us win Sunday, him getting to the foul line in the SMU game.
When you talk about getting fresh legs, at this time of year, how can you do that as a coach?
Most important thing, in my opinion, this time of year, not just fresh legs, fresh mind. You got to make sure that your team is excited about being in the gym still, is looking forward to staying in this gym as long as we can and playing as a group as long as they can. I'm a big believer in that. So you got to practice. You got to do things to make sure the guys are having fun. You got to make sure they're doing things to make sure their legs are fresh for game time. And it's that to me, if you need to be out in a practice setting teaching your guys how to play help defense at this time of year, you failed as a coach. You're really struggling. You got to make sure the guys are ready to play on game day this time of year. And I'm a big believer in mental state as well. Keeping the guys where I think if a guy thinks he's tired, he's tired. You got to make sure that somehow you got to get them to where they're in the right frame of mind. They're happy. They're excited. They're looking forward to staying alive and winning tournaments as long as they can. I think if you beat them down, some guys look for the exit.
Do you like conference tournaments?
Doesn't really, we're going to try to win it. I've learned a long time ago what I like doesn't matter. Whether I'm a basketball coach, remember, so I deal with a lot of football stuff. So what I like or what I think is important really doesn't matter. I've learned to suppress that. for the better of the good of our
Yeah.
program and my future. So, our game plan, to get more pointed about it, my message to our team is, I don't want us talking or thinking about the NCAA tournament. Our goal, when I meet with these guys here today, is let's go win the conference tournament. It's a memory we can have forever. Those guys, I want them to be able to cut down nets, dance around, have fun, and that's got to be our goal. If we're not thinking that way, we're not going to win the tournament. So, yes. So the answer, yeah, it's going to be very important. If you want to try to win it, that's how you got to try to approach it. So I just think, that's back to the mental state. That's got to be our mental approach going into this weekend. We got to have a goal of cutting down the nets and enjoying that, and something those guys will remember forever. And then after that, then worry about the next phase of our season.
What will it mean to have Shaq back?
Oh, it'll help a lot. I think it'll help Gary a lot. Gary playing too many minutes. In the UConn game in particular, because UConn plays small the majority of the game, it'll help us in a lot of ways, matching up with them. And his ability to run the floor and to keep Gary fresh so he can run the floor. It's really important against UConn because of the speed they play with. So, and just happy for him, to be honest. Just looking forward to him getting back out there. It's all, at the end of the day, hopefully I'll get to coach, but this is obviously his last chance to play. So, but it'll help our team in a lot of ways that won't equate in the stat sheet.
Do you just assume now you're going to play UConn 3 times?
Yeah, I told everybody that after the UConn guys. When we won up there, I immediately Gresham in here, Bill, as I talked about, I'm sure we'll play him 2 more times. They said, this is a big win for you. I said, I better not get too happy about it. We're going to have to play him 2 more times anyway. I didn't know it was going to be on Friday in the conference tournament. That's my point with the media about how good our league is, the fact that we're playing in the first round.
Do you like playing UConn? Or is it like getting a tooth pulled?
I haven't had one pulled in a while, full knock on wood, but I think our kids enjoy it because it's a big, it's a rivalry game. It's a big game. As a coach, it's much easier to get your team ready to play SMU or UConn than some others. You get your kids understand. They get your attention. So you don't have to worry about that aspect of the preparation.
And it's one game you know what you're going to get, right?
Oh, yeah.
Preparation. They know what
You may not like it, what you're going to get, because of how hard they play.
Yeah.
But your players do know. So you don't have to impress upon them, hey, these guys play really hard. They already know that.
Fraud's knee, did it come through? And usually talk about like the day after. He felt okay the day after.
Don't know. Have to ask him that one. I think when you've been out, he only practiced one. He was out basically 13 or something. I don't know how many days, and practiced 1 day and got ready. So I expect him to be a much better player this weekend than he was. We just needed him out there in the SMU. Whatever we got from him, production-wise, was a plus. But we weren't going to win if he wasn't out there. As far as him getting back to the Farad that's capable of getting 20, obviously getting back in the gym and getting live work for 3 days. He wasn't even doing shooting drills for the better part of 2 weeks. So I would expect he'll be much more comfortable as far as, just being productive this weekend.
Over the last 10 years, what's it been like to watch this go from just 2 teams playing to now UC and UConn genuinely being a rivalry game?
Well, I think it was inevitable when they left the Big East. What it's like is tremendous, because I remember 10 years ago what it was like. Their point guard was as big as my center. So I tried, so I'm very proud that it's become a rivalry game with a team that's won national championships. The guy, but Shugs obviously have great respect for their program. So, but rivalries are healthy, and unfortunately, the business of college athletics and football has destroyed a lot of them, like our Louisville rivalry. And so it's nice that we're able to develop something. And that's what college athletics is really all about. It should be about. Unfortunately, it's not with the dollars and cents of it.
Jacob wasn't part of the all-rookie team. I know you don't know the
Yeah,
all-conference team, but
that's-
he wasn't. But can you talk his growth from the start of the year to now? How much better of a player is he?
Well, first of all, like my message to he or Octavius or anybody like that is, I try to really teach my kids in life to really worry about things that are important. And although those awards are nice for Troy and Gary, they can't, their degree will have value. And when they get a job playing basketball, that'll have value. You can't deposit player of the year, coach of the year. You can't deposit all rookie team. And pro scouts could care less about that stuff. I promise you. So it doesn't matter in the big grand scheme of things. Now, Jacob is a completely different player now than he was at the beginning of the year because he's adjusted to the speed and the physicality of our game. It just took him some time, as far as just how rough and tough it is at the high level basketball. Now that he's made that adjustment, you see how talented he is. But I still think he's getting better. Like Sunday was by far the best he's attacked the basket on the dribble on the fast break all year. By far the most confident I've seen him offensively attacking the basket. Stuff that I saw when I recruited him. Saw him play a lot. Went to summer rules in July. So, the first time I saw him, I called him and said, I will not miss another game of yours. You are now my top recruit. And I never missed another game he played. So I saw him a lot. So I've seen him dominate games. I know what he's capable of. So there's a lot more to come. But it's so when I saw him doing that a couple of times where he hit the Jets and really went at the rim, that was it. Like I've seen that before in high-level games against, and out in Vegas against the best players in the country. And so it's, you get excited because you start to see him get his confidence going, and you know what he's capable of.